Hello and welcome to another video. So today's video is about creatures that you'll find along the seashore in the range between high tide and low tide. So what I've done is I've videoed 50 different sea creatures that you can find if you're foraging along the shoreline, and there's a variety of different creatures, so crustaceans, fish, mollusks, worms. So just things I thought might be of interest. Now, I've videoed 50 different creatures. I can't fit them all on this video because otherwise it'd be such a long video. So what I've done is I've broken it up into two parts. So there's the next, I'll do the first 25, and the next 25 I'll release in about a week's time. Some are more interesting than others. Some you might consider boring. And some, are really interesting creatures. So anyway, here's the first 25. Okay, so we've got many types of shrimp in the waters. Well, I say many, we've got quite a few. And this is a brown shrimp, and you find these just on the shore. So I've been basically scooping up this net in the shallows here. And you can see it's quite an unusual looking one, and it's got lots of feelers on the front here, and it buries itself in the sand. You wouldn't ordinarily see this. See, this one's actually got eggs in it. But yeah, you wouldn't normally see these unless you were rummaging around with the net on the shoreline. So there, here we go. There's a brown shrimp. And away he goes. Okay, Tim's just found a giant Ormer. It's not actually an Ormer in tide, so we can't take it, but you can see this is the underside of an Ormer, so this is a big one. You can tell it's a big one because look, it's got lots of sponges and barnacles growing on it. But yeah, so this one will be, I don't know, it's getting bigger than that, but not that much bigger. You see his head there? It's a cool looking creature, isn't it? So these are type of abalone that live in our waters. But, yeah, they live on they feed on the seaweed, the algae, and they taste delicious. But like I say, we can't take this one today. Yeah. Right, this is called a little cuttlefish. You see him?
Yeah, I see him.
How cool is that? So this is a totally different species to the normal cuttlefish you find. And yeah, they don't grow much bigger than that, to be honest. So yeah, it's a really cool creature. Can you see it close up there, huh? You don't want him out of the water for too long, so. Let me just put him in the water for a bit. There we go. And the ink's everywhere. See him? Yeah. See how the ink?
Yeah, I saw that.
See how he changes colour? So look, he feels threatened. See if he does it again. There he is. See him jetting ink?
Yeah, I see him.
There he goes. Totally changed colour. He looks like a bit of seaweed now. But they are such cool little creatures. They change colour, and they squirt ink. Yeah. And they just feast on little creatures in the shallows. So yeah, really cool. Right, let's put him back. They're quite a rare visitor to our shores, so I thought I'd come and take a look. So yeah, let me show you these interesting creatures. These are called by-the-wind sailors. They're not actually a jellyfish. They are the type of hydroid which we get in our. But we don't really get these in our water, so they're sort of like a foreigner to these lands, really. They actually belong out at sea, and you can see there's thousands of them here. So yeah, these basically drift out on the sea and use their sail on the top. You can see there. See, there's a sail there, and they use that to sort of keep themselves out at sea wherever possible. But sometimes the wind's from the wrong direction, and they just they drift ashore, which is not what they want to do. But yeah, these are a colony of creatures. They're not actually one creature. And you can see here, look, this is one that's upside down. You can see there's the tentacles there. They're very short tentacles compared to, they're a close relation to the Portuguese man of war, and but they've got very short tentacles. And yeah, what they do is they float around on the sea. They float around on the sea, and they basically live on zooplankton. So basically small animals, small sort of microorganisms in the sea, and they're coloured blue because they want to remain camouflaged to their prey. So they just sit there. They've got no way of propelling themselves. Yeah, they get eaten by things like turtles, and sea snails eat them as well. But yeah, what a cool visitor to our beaches. But there's 2 sea urchins, loads of stuff stuck to them. They don't grow much bigger than that. This is the only sea urchin we get in our waters. But, yeah, there's 2 together. So I don't know. You think how they mate? I have no idea. But whether that's why they're together or not, I don't know.
It's not disturbing then.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. They do come in different colours, but these quite often they've got these little purple spines. Nice.
Quite a head on it though.
Must be a bullhuss then.
Yeah, I think it must be. Yeah, it's a huss.
Is it? You got him? No way. Right.
That's a good catch.
It's a bullhuss.
A chunky one.
Yeah, greater spotted dogfish, or they call them catfish. I don't know why. We've always known. But yeah, that was just under a rock. You could hear him splashing around.
They're so strong,
So,
eh?
yeah. Yeah, it's a member of the shark family, obviously.
Oh, I don't want to get high out with that on you, mate. Wow, they're so strong.
Nice. They are really strong. Their skin's like sandpaper as well, isn't it?
Good find, Tim, eh?
Yeah, it's a good one. Nice. Don't find many bullhuss off the shore.
I've never found one before. Whoa, looking for his gut. He's really strong.
Should we put him in the water? Let
Well,
him go.
I suppose let him go, eh? Like he probably doesn't want to be where he was anyway.
Very good find, Tim. I'm just wandering round and found a proper scallop. So this is the biggest type of scallop we get in our waters. These are edible. Very rarely find them along the shoreline, particularly on a small tide like today. But it was just sitting here. What a beauty! I think I might take that one home and eat him. But you can see it's got all those little worms on it, in those calcified tubes. So you can see all those tiny little white ones. You wouldn't normally even notice it, but yeah. So there you go. I wonder what he was doing here. He just got. It's quite a tidal area, so he just got washed up. What a beauty! Found a scallop. Check out these cool creatures. They're basically like woodlice on the bottom of the rocks here. Appear in colonies. You don't see these very often, especially not in large groups like this. But they, you can see that they curl up into a ball when they feel threatened to protect their innards. But yeah, I don't know what the common name is for them, but I'll put the Latin name up on screen. But yeah, you don't get a very good view because it's, they're so small. The camera's not picking it up. But they've got these little tiny little compound eyes as well. I can remember finding these when I was a biology student, and I took them back and looked at them under the microscope, and they're really cool little creatures. But yeah, you don't often see these, but then how often do you look at the bottom of a rock really closely like this? So but yeah, really interesting find. So there we go. They're like little woodlice. This is what's known as a sea hare, which is a type of sea slug. Now, because I've taken it out of the water, it doesn't look actually, so you can't really tell It's you can see it's just a very slug-like. But when you put it in the water, I'll show you in a second. The reason why I think it's called a sea hare is because it's got like little ears that stick up. But and at certain times of the year, it leaves a trail of purple slime behind it. But no, it's a really cool creature. Let me just put it in the water and see if you can see what happens. So normally, when I saw it, it's so there you go. You can see actually. You can see that's why it's called a sea hare, I think, because it's got little ears that stick up like that. But you can see it's got like a little, almost like a fin on the back there. Okay, I thought I'd filmed it, but I hadn't. Right, so this is what's known as a clingfish. Now, there are two different types that live in our waters. Normally you find the ones that have these little markings on the top, and they've got little tufty bits as well. They looks like almost looks like a lizard from here. But if you have a look at here, this is it here. It's a really cool little fish, and it's got a sucker on the bottom which allows it to stick to rocks. Yeah, this is a different type of one. I think there's the greenish one. I think I've seen it. I'll put it in the comments, but I better put him back because he's been out the water a little while now because I've been messing around. There he is. It's a clingfish. Right, I've been looking for one of these with my other camera, didn't find one, and now I found one. All I've got is my GoPro, so hopefully you get a good view of it. But this is the other type of clingfish, and you can see the difference. You see this, you can't see it because it's out of the water, but it's got two little tufty bits just in front of its eyes there, and it's got a colourful head. You can't really tell. This one isn't that colourful, but you can see there's some like little blue stripes on the top there. Sometimes it looks like you can see its brain. They're really cool fish. This is a clingfish. They live under the rocks at right and low water, and yeah, there he goes. So let me just turn him over so you can see his sucker. So you can see there. Oh, his fins have been adapted. So you can see there. Oh, it's stuck to me. There. So you can see there. Underneath, it's got the fins have been adapted to become a sucker. See his little mouth open there. Look. So hopefully you got a good view of that. I'm not sure how well my GoPro is going to pick this up, but it's I'll put him back because he's probably terrified. So let me put him back under the rock where he was. There we go. Leave him be. Nice. I believe this is a long-clawed porcelain crab. You get the broad claw ones and the long-clawed ones. You can see this one is it's not less hairy. The broad claw ones are like little hairy crabs. These stick to the bottom of rocks, and they actually feed. They're filter feeders, so they just feed on the general sort of detritus that's underneath the rocks. But you can see this one here, I think it's got eggs. Yeah, it has. Ah! Lost him. There we go. Let me get him back. You can see there. See the eggs underneath? It's full of eggs. So that's a broad claw porcelain crab. No, that's not broad, sorry. That's a long clawed porcelain crab. It's funny, you know, it's got a white shell. I don't think I've often seen that before, but there you go. So this is the most common starfish we find in our waters. This is called a cushion star, and that's about as big as they get, really. They don't get much bigger than that, but you do find them everywhere along the shoreline here. You can get a type which is sort of a reddish one, but this is just your normal standard cushion star. Very slow moving, these creatures. You can just about probably see the tentacles just moving around there, but they don't move very fast, that's for sure. Here's a Venus clam. Now you get these many different varieties. I think this is called the Warty Venus clam. It's actually a you can see by the deep ridges on it. That's what it is. There's many different types. These are actually a delicacy in France. They eat these, but I've never tried it myself. But maybe one day I will. But yeah, so that's a Warty Venus clam. Okay, different part of the beach now. So you can see now these are numerous all over our shores. These are thick top shells. They're the most common, and actually when we were kids we used to collect these and eat them. I mean, they're all right. I wouldn't you know, there's they're not the most tasty things. Some people like them. Some people like just with a bit of vinegar. If you boil them up, you can take a pin and pull them out like a snail out their shell and eat them. But that's a thick top shell, and there are loads of these all over our shores. Okay, I can't believe it's been this difficult to find one of these, because they used to be everywhere. Yeah, this is a normal shore crab. There's a big shore crab as well. I have to be careful he doesn't get me. But yeah, Richard's saying please get him. So this is a male. You can see by the V-shaped apron on the bottom. But I mean, that's a decent sized shore crab, but you just don't see many of them anymore. I don't know whether it's the furrowed crab, the Xantho crab that have got rid of them, but yeah, they used to see these everywhere, every rock you turned as a kid. But yeah, this is a decent sized shore crab. When they get older, they go red as well. You get the red bellies. They're the same crab, but they're just as they age, they go red. But yeah, really good to see. Nice to see there's still some around, but I don't know whether it's common across Britain, but certainly in the Channel Islands we get loads of the Xantho crabs and none of these. So anyway, make sure he stays alive, so put him back in the water. Okay, it's pouring with rain now, so I have to protect my camera because it's not waterproof. But you can see here, I've been looking for one of these for ages. You used to get them all over the place. These are common blenny or shanny. So you can see there, they've got the dorsal fin that goes all the way to the back, and it's got a big cute face. So this is the same as it's very similar to a tompot blenny, but a tompot blenny has it's got the little tufty bits on the top, and they grow quite big. But yeah, this used to be well, I suppose it still is relatively common in our waters. The locals, we call them caboose. I don't know whether that's a Guernsey French word or not, but yeah, this is a shanny. Okay, on the bottom of this rock here, you can see there's a totally clear sea squirt just here. I don't know if you see, if I don't want to touch it, it might, yeah, it squirts out. See? But yeah, this is a clear one. I think they change colour different times a year. Right, here you've got some snake-lock anemones. It's easy for me to say. You can see here there's different coloured ones actually. There's this one's a green and with purple tips, and this one's a pink one. So but they're perfect location for them, right in the current there, so they're just picking up anything, particles that come through, any food, and they'll latch onto it. That's a snake-lock anemone. I almost got it right that time. They're either sole or solonets. I don't know the difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I see them.
Yeah? Yeah, hang on. Let's get the bigger one out. It'll be easier to see. Oh, hang on. They're slippery one way and rough the other. Hang on, I'm going to lose him here. Right, you can see, so this is like a baby flatfish. So these grow to about 10 pound. They're quite big, but if you feel it hard, feel it with your finger, feel it one way and then feel it the other way. It's rough the other way, see?
Oh yeah, yeah, I feel that.
You can see like it's completely camouflaged. These fish are completely camouflaged in the water. So they just, oh, did I lose him there?
Yeah,
no, you went.
He's
He's in there. So there you are. They've got two little sole. So you do get the little baby flatfish in the shallows here. This was it's their nursery in the shallows. Okay, cool. So yeah, so you can see here, this little fin here sticks up and almost looks like a weaver fish when they stick up like that. But oh, so let's put him back. They just disappear. See, look, watch. Ready? See, it's just disappeared into the.
Don't know if the camera got that, but
yeah. You can see here, look, he's trying to bite me here. That's well, a good job I've got the gloves on. See, look, he's hanging from me here, look. Yeah. You can see, look, there's his teeth coming out, look, I'll show you. God, he's a really aggro ragworm. See there, look at his teeth, see? So, I mean, they won't hurt you badly, but they'll give you a bit of a nip. See the teeth coming out? So anyway, there are different types of ragworm we get over here. I'll have to look it up to tell you exactly which type it is. This is the one you find in the rocks. This isn't the king rag, this is just the normal ragworm. You can tell normally, which you can't really see because you've got so much stuff on his head, how many antennae they've got on the front by which type of ragworm they are. These are used by fishermen for fishing. There's a lot of fish that like ragworm to eat, so it's a good bait. So that's a ragworm, or part of a ragworm anyway. Right, so here's a couple of ragworm. You get a better view of them. These are complete ones. So yeah, they have got a relatively small head. They're less aggro now that they're not on my hand. They feel as if they're in their own sort of domain. But there you go. So they're excellent bait because they wriggle so much when you put them on the hook. So yeah, I prefer these to the king rag, but they're more effort to get. Okay, so this isn't a particularly good example because it's a juvenile. You can't really see. It's only a small. This is what we call in Guernsey verm. Now, I can't remember the Latin name for it, but I'll put it up on screen. So it looks like a ragworm. Looks like the last one, the ragworm. But I don't know if you can see, there's like a sheen on it, like that. It almost looks like it's covered in petrol. It's and the way to distinguish between a ragworm and a verm is it's a bit flatter. Ragworm tend to be round. But you see down here, you've got like a line of, like, see the red bits down the sides? They're actually gills that are on the outside of the worm, so they're quite an unusual worm in that respect. But yeah, you could see hopefully you can see in the sunlight there the sheen off the top of it. But they're extremely good bait. It's particularly for bass. But this is a small one. Normally, when you're digging for them, they break up into pieces because they're not particularly like hard wearing. If you do pull them, they'll snap. So it must be the defense mechanism. So they have got teeth like ragworm. You can see this one's trying to bite me. So in all intents and purposes, they're pretty much like a ragworm, but they're flatter, and they've got this ridge of next to their legs. You can see, hopefully you can see there. You can see it better on this side. See the red bits there? That's the gills. So I am assuming it helps them to breathe underwater. But yeah, so these are found. They're quite difficult to dig. They are found in again in rock bed like ragworm, but tend to be in much denser rock, so it's more difficult to dig. But you can see this one's trying to bite me as well. So when you're there, you are. Look at it. Look how big its nippers are. It's tried to eat itself then. But really good bait for fishing. And actually it's one of the worms that you can actually freeze, and they're still good. They give off a real good scent for fishing. So there we go. But there you go, it's a worm, and I'll give you the Latin name. Can't remember what it is. Right, so this is one of the bivalves we find on the island. This is a cockle. Don't only really find them mainly on this beach because there's a supply of fresh water that comes down, but they're everywhere on this beach. But yeah, it's quite a decent sized cockle, that one. But yeah, this was just lying on the top. Normally you have to dig for them, but occasionally they come to the surface. So yeah, just a filter feeder. They just stick their tongues out. It looks like a tongue. So it's, yeah, feed on the little microorganisms that are in the sea. So there you go. There's a cockle. Okay, I found it's a bit of a cheat really, because there's an oyster farm nearby, but this must be one that's fallen off of the out of the bags over there. So so this is the ones that they actually cultivate on the beds. This is a Pacific oyster. So this isn't actually local to our to around here, but you will find these. They all over the shore really. So yeah, so this I'll see if I can find you one that's the actual European one, but this is a Pacific oyster. It's only a tiny one. They grow quite big. They're a filter feeder, bivalve filter feeder. Okay, so this is nice and simple. You'll find these everywhere around the coast of the UK. These are limpets. You'll find them lots of places in the world, to be honest with you. So these are normally, I found this one upside down, just so I haven't actually beaten this one off the rock like you would have to do normally, because they stick to the rock really tight, and they basically just graze on algae on the rocks. And what they do is they have a shell which fits into the rock, so they'll always come back to the same place each at the end of the night, and they'll secure themselves, but really hard to get off the rocks. So the bigger ones you'll find further up the shore because they can retain water, and the smaller ones you'll find further down. But if you have a look up close, so this is what it looks like. I don't think I'll be able to get its head to come out, but it's got its little mouth. I don't want to hurt it, but there you are. See, I don't know if you can see. There's its head there, just there. You can see its two little sort of tentacle things coming out there. But yeah, so these graze around. They don't move that far, and they graze around the rocks and then come back and stick to the rock at the end of the day. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed some of that. And if you did, please click on the like button, and don't forget, if you want to see the next 25, subscribe to my channel and you'll get a notification. See you next time.